welcome back. If you're new, if you're not, welcome to Happy Mind, Happy Life podcast. My name is Brittany. Today we're going to talk about a couple things. This looks pretty darn long, but I'm trying to get through it as much as I can and go from there. So today we're going to be talking about um my coming out story. This is a story time because I've never this is the thing. Like when I was talking to my friends or like I just tried to have a conversation with my niece about it. But I was like, how did I come out? And they just said, that is a really good question. Because they don't know. 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 They were just like, I just think we all just knew. And it just went from there. But y'all didn't say nothing. I didn't, whatever. Whatever. Um, and that I can't think of a time to where I was just like, I like girls to somebody. Like I don't know. I don't know. Oh, okay. Cause it was really like mind boggling me to like really understand like or just want to know that part of my life. Like how did I come out? But I guess like we'll just never know. Um my experience with it, like coming out was like really hard. Um I think being attracted to the same sex as yourself is like it was difficult. The time period was like very difficult. I struggled with it because of the people I was around. So if you're around this person, you're considered to be gay, which technically is not necessarily true. Like I couldn't go certain places because the same people who was attracted to the same people were there. Didn't make any sense. Doesn't mean I was attracted to them myself. I just wanted to have a good time. That was it. Without the BS. Um when I started being attracted to girls, um, I just I felt like something was off, like something was different. Like this just wasn't the normal. And I grew up in a small town, so no, it's just not considered to be like a real thing, to for it to be like something you can actually do, um, or act on it. Um, yeah, everybody was pretty much like very judgmental. I can definitely say that, and it's still just the the place that I live in is just very place that I grew up in, just the town that I grew up in was just very it's just one sided and it was just very judgmental. No ifs, ands, or buts. Like it was just very like judgmental and just very hard to just be yourself because eyes turned, people looked at you a certain kind of way, people gossiped, people really just didn't know you at all. They just came up with their own conclusions and perceptions about you. Which me, I don't be caring. But at certain times, like my feelings get hurt. Um, to not like really feel accepted in a world where you feel like everybody should belong is really hard. Um, I was a person. I was a girl who grew up in a church, and so that means like I was going to church events. Um, I was on the usher board. I danced in the church. And so a lot of people have these high expectations for you and you just presume like you don't meet them. You don't meet them whatsoever. And then everything just crumbles. Mm, crumbles. It's a big word. Because I didn't come out to people. They just knew and they would just try to have like these little side conversations like whatever you're doing, you know it's wrong. So don't do it. I would go to church and I think it was like manifested because when I went to church, um, the pastor would just be talking about sinful acts. This is wrong. my grandma would turn around. I sit in the back of the church. I don't ever sit up in the front. No, definitely not me. Um, and she would just turn around and she would just look at me, and I would look back to the wall because I don't know who she was staring at. Obviously me, but whatever. Like nothing I did was like wrong. I didn't act on it. I didn't like go out and like kiss a girl or do any of those things. It was just an attraction, a feeling. And you have those people around you who don't want you to act on those things. Um I was very much sheltered in a sense. I wasn't like extroverted. I didn't really do go out and explore a lot of things. I was literally in sports all the time. That was pretty much my life. Like school and sports was pretty much it. And just sheltered in a sense where I couldn't go out and like hang out with um friends and do what they do because they would think like, oh, I'm going out to meet a girl. And if that girl was there, cool beings. Cool beings. But at the same time it was like I didn't really get to grow up like how other people grew up and they got to just explore and do different things that they wanted to do. Um, which I mean now I'm more extroverted than anything. I still like to be a homebody, but when I'm going out to explore, it's definitely a good time. I would just hang or talk to people. I didn't take nothing serious, and I really just want to make that clear. Like I really didn't really take a lot of things serious. I was just dipping and like dabbing as anybody else would when they're like going through a transition of like trying to figure out what they like, what they're attracted to. Just like anyone else who was just literally just going through a lot of things. I had my dad drop me off at like a birthday party for a girl that I liked. Um, this one just does not like. I like to say this one does not count because it was just so much stuff going on, but like not really. I didn't tell my dad like I liked the girl or nothing. I was just like, Dad, can I go to this birthday party? And he dropped me off because it was in town, and I went or whatever, and I had a good time. It didn't turn into anything serious because they had a relationship at the time, and we're not gonna get into all that, but I wouldn't say like it was like a serious thing. Like I developed like hard feelings. Like no. I did like them in that way, but it never turned into nothing like that. Um, again, I was just dipping and dabbling, like, and I think that was like my ninth grade year or something. I don't know, one of the two, or it's my 10th grade year. I don't know. So in middle school, like even before like I came out and stuff, like I dated guys, boys, they were just jerks. Um, really, and it didn't last for a long time, which was a God given thing. Like thank goodness. Because when I look at some of them now, I'm just like, yeah, yeah, no. Um, I wasn't like really attracted to girls in middle school. I think like going into high school and stuff, it was just I got more comfortable. I would use apps to talk to people. Like for instance, there was this app called Kick, and every human being I felt like that was gay or just maybe straight, whatever. Everybody was pretty much on this app at the time. Everybody. Some people are just too young for this app because it was the app at the time. And everybody like, oh well just kick me, all this other stuff. That's how I was really getting noticed and stuff like that. I met a lot of people on there. Um it was good. Like that was yeah. If I had those old messages in game. Um anyways. I was just talking to random people on there. Some had names for themselves in the local towns, cities around here. And it would just be nothing like serious or nothing. Again, like I would just be doing my own thing. Um, I had like a sit down with my dad, and he like explained like he wouldn't really treat me differently about me liking girls or whatever. I was still his daughter at the end of the day. But it came to a point like if somebody like tried to mm, I guess like say hurtful things about it, indirectly or directly, he would still defend me. Like even today, like he still defends me. I just don't think he wants people hurting me. I don't think any parent would. But he was very supportive. I don't think I really had like a sit down with my mom either. Um, yeah, I've never had a sit down with my mom about it or nothing. But I don't get treated differently, even still today, just because of the sexuality. Um, and just to jump back into sexuality, I don't really like labels. Like I can say I'm queer. I am more attracted to women than I am guys. Um, I don't think I'll go back to feeling anything for a man, like whatsoever. Like if a guy, like I can, like even now, like some people have the audacity to feel like it's okay to jump in an inbox DM like and just say, "What are you doing?" Like, "I want to be your sugar daddy." No, not me. Not mine. No. But if I'm not saying I would take a woman as a sugar mama or anything like that. I'm just saying like if a woman gave me a compliment and then like it was like you're beautiful or whatever the case may be, my toes curl, I would just be like, yeah, we're gonna get married, U-Haul, right then and there. I don't know. It's a different little vibe. It's definitely a different vibe. Um, which I can't say that about a lot of people who catches my eye or attention. I'm not attracted to a lot of people. Um, to get my attention, it takes a lot for somebody to do. Period. Um, yeah. So again, like I'm not put in a box. I was just say I'm queer. Um, I like the word gay. Um, but yeah, like I don't like being put in a box because people get to label you as whatever they want, and I don't like that. So I would just prefer people to just ask me instead of thinking like they know everything. Um, I don't know. Again, like I don't remember how I came out to my friends. I don't think I really did. I just did my own thing, and they just caught on, and we just went from there. Um. Oh yeah. Let's get into it. So again, everybody was on kick at the time. I don't know how me and her met, but we're just gonna call her Mia. Um, I don't know how we met, like, but she was already. I think she was just already on my kick or snap, whichever one, and somehow our conversation started. I knew her best friend already. Because her best friend was like, I came out to her best friend, and then her best friend was like, "Oh, well, do you know who such and such is?" And I was like, "Who?" Because I dated her ex. I don't even think she knows that, but she does, whatever. Um, but at that time she was like on my socials. So I don't know, either I texted her or she texted me, whatever. But we started talking like all the time. And I think she was in a relationship at the time. But I'm not even gonna talk about that person. But I think she was in a relationship at the time. Whatever. Um I ended up developing like the crush, and I didn't expect to have any kind of like hard feelings for her. They were like really deep too. Oh my goodness. She was mesmerizing. I became obsessed and just very protective of her. When I say protective, I mean like anybody could just talk about her incorrectly, or somebody could just bring her up, and or I would get teased, and then like just gotta shut it down. Like shut it down. I was so protective. Um, I still am that way. I'm not gonna lie. Like if anybody tried to disrespect her, you gonna have to see me. We just have to talk about it. Like or just don't do that around me. Just don't. We've never dated, and I really just want to say that like we never dated, never kissed, nothing, never even held hands, never, nada, no. Um, the closest thing like that has ever happened was hugging. That is it, and our hugs were just top tier, on point. Hi. Um, she was a really good friend to me at the time. Like she was a really good friend. I don't know what she described me as to her friends. Um, we were just very flirtatious, talking just about anything. We would talk about we would just talk about just random stuff and just be a good conversation, laughing, all of that. I could talk to her for hours. Also at the time, like Pretty Little Liars was out, so she was like my PLL buddy, my PLL buddy. Um, yeah, I was blushing central when it came to her. I was super giddy. Um, Anytime her name would come up, I couldn't smile without talking about her. It was just plain as day. And keep in mind, like I wasn't like this around anybody. And this was like I was like this even before I saw her face to face in person. Different. Like it was a different time back then. Um, she was like she was like very supportive. Um, just when just when like needing to vent, like if she vented, like I was definitely there for her. Um, and vice versa. And I didn't get that from a lot of people because a lot of people made a lot of things about them, and then when you want to talk about something, you just it's not the same energy. But for her, she kept the same energy, and I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that about her. Um, she was like the first person I felt connected to. She felt like she felt like home. She felt like um a dream. Um I just developed so much love and care for her like over time. And like time was going by fast at that time. Like if we had a conversation at like 5 o'clock, it would be 10 o'clock the next second. And that's what I really just disliked about that time. Like time would just go really fast and it wouldn't like slow down for nothing or nobody. And I felt like I didn't have time to talk to her. I really felt like I didn't have time to talk to her. Um, we would have school the next day. I'm not gonna lie, like we would just stay up talking for hours, like almost to 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and school would be the next day, and I would just be sleeping class. Um, I really did not know like how she felt about me, if she did feel anything. I just knew like I didn't want her to know that I liked her at the time. Um, I was like fearing rejection, like insecurities at the time. Like, what if she doesn't feel the same way? Like, what if this is like, what if I tell her and it just means like literally nothing? And I just, I went into that hole where you just don't want somebody to know anything. Um, but it got to a point like where I opened up to her. Um, Again, she was in a relationship at the time. I don't know if this was her old relationship or her new relationship. I didn't like neither one. So, I'm so being honest. She gave me anxiety anytime a serious conversation would come up because she would be like, "I got a question," and it just dropped the ball. Like my heart was in my feet at the time. Um, she had asked if I liked her, and I kind of just gaslit, and I didn't want to admit it, and then eventually, mm, I went into it, and I was like, I think I said SpongeBob Yellow, and then she knew I liked her. Um, I could talk to her without just feeling judged, pretty much, and it wasn't like everything wasn't always so serious all the time. It was pretty much like laughable. Um, yeah, it was a lot going on at that time. It was all good times. It wasn't like it wasn't bad. It really it really wasn't bad. The relationship that she got in at the time, and I'm thinking this is like the other one that she had got in. Um, I didn't want her to be in the situation because I don't know. It was just like everything was going fast. Um, Excuse me. On top of that, I have feelings for her. So why would I want her to get into a situation? Like, no. Um, and then she got into a relationship. If something wasn't going well or something she was hurting or whatever the case may be, she would just text me. I remember walking in class one day or out of class, and she would text me and she would just say, "Make me feel better." Um, like everything stopped. Everything stopped, and I pertained my life to fixing whatever was wrong and making her happy at that time. That's when I was just like, bro, she's really just talking to me, and she's not really being a friend. Like she's just kind of just using me right now because she knows I would treat her how you're supposed to be treated. Period. And I was a giver. I'm still a giver, but when I have feelings for you, and either I'm working on my attachment or being detached, anything could come up, and then I'm just like right back to where I was. Um, at the end of the day, like I still didn't have her, so it was just like, what am I doing? I'm just putting myself in this hole that I'm still gonna have to dig myself out of at the end of the day. It really wasn't fair. Um, yeah, she would post on IG with her girlfriend, or if she would just post by herself, like I just didn't want to see any of it. Um, I would just scroll like really fast, and as long as I didn't see her, I was fine. I was really fine. Um, if I did see her, my whole world would just stop. I would just be upset. I panicked. It was terrible. I started crying. It was depressing. Um, I would wake up and start crying, and because a lot of times she would just show up in my dreams. Um, I mean, the fairy tale was there, but the ending wasn't. And I think I was just more devastated by that, more than anything, just developing feelings for a friend, and really not knowing how to monitor or deal with it at the time. I felt like I was dealing with it by myself, and I really just didn't want to. I didn't really just didn't want to talk to anyone about it. I don't know if she had any mutual feelings for me. I I didn't see anything in our messages um from years ago to see it. If I had kick, probably, maybe, I don't know, but I don't know. I really don't know. Because at the time, like we had stopped talking. So once she wasn't in my life anymore, things felt really numb, and it was a crazy time. Um, we eventually spoke again. Um, we eventually spoke, and then like of course like the conversation is gonna come up like why did we stop being friends? Um, and I knew this was gonna come up. Like I knew, but I wasn't like prepared for the words that were gonna come out of my mouth. Um, and I told her I was like I just felt used to fill voids in order to make her happy, and it made me upset. It made me like really sad at the time. And of course, like she didn't know, like, and I was dealing with all that at the time. Well, duh. Um, and because she knew I would show up, she knew I would just be there for her. She knew I would treat her the way she should be treated as such. I told her on the phone, I was like, I love you, and I'm always love and care about you. Um, it was sad. Like I was like crying at the time too. Um, she was my friend. She was my friend also, and so it was really hard. It was it was hard. I don't wish that on nobody. 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 Um, she was like, "Well, I showed such and such our messages, and I told her like this is how I want to be treated." And she was like, "Well, if I wasn't with them, like I would have like been with you." That just brought up like so much. It just brought up Like when people say certain things, it makes you overanalyze, over extinguish what is being translated to you. Um, because so much stuff was like going on at the time, and I think like I have feelings for her, like still. Once that got brought up, like I like it just opened up feelings again. Um, like she rejected me and really wanted us to just stay friends. I mean, she felt like we were just friends. And so sometimes that's why I say like I always have to extinguish like between what's factual and either what's made up in my head, because I don't think I ever asked her like, do you have feelings for me? I just didn't want the answer to that. Because if we talk and it's flirtatious, I'm gonna automatically assume like they have feelings for me. They would have to tell me, because I have to send, of course they're gonna see this video, whatever. They would have to tell me, because I don't know. I don't know who she's ever like spoke to about me or whatever the case may be. Like I don't know. Um and I've always like just I didn't really question it because I know how to let things go now. But I didn't really question it because I don't know. I can sit here and say like yes, like I still love and care about her regardless. Like platonic, yes, we are very much platonic. Um, but that's still my dog at the end of the day. Like I love her. If she was like to text me and say like, hey, um, I need you or something, like, can we please talk? Like, I'm there. I am so there. I am so there. Um, she said she would like hurt me if we were to date. And I think like that did it for me. That really did it for me. Like this person would really hurt me if we were to date. Yeah. But the thing is like she is such an honest person, and I so love that about her, because nobody is really like, when I actually had my first actual relationship, like nobody's like was straight up. Like nobody would be like, bro, I'm gonna really hurt you. Like nobody was like that honest with me. There was like other people after, like once I had my first relationship, and people after that, like there were people who I took seriously, but Mia was like a person who I genuinely developed like heartfelt feelings for. Um, and I don't think many people know that, like the things that went on in between that. It's been years. Like it's been over 8 years, maybe 10. I don't know. Maybe 10. Maybe 10. Maybe 10. Um, so yeah, the friendship became more important than to have her romantically. It was just a mutual understanding, and of it being just reciprocated. Um, I think now, like when I bring her up, or if I have a conversation with her, they'd be like, "Oh, you're talking to what's her face?" And I'm like, "Bro, it's platonic, not like that." And so sometimes I just don't have to say much. I'm just like, people feel how they want to feel at the end of the day, and yeah. Um, I hope like, and I say this about a lot of people that actually no, actually no, I don't say this about a lot of people. I do hope that whoever whoever she chooses to love, like, um, they choose her right back. I hope they continuously love the person I got to know and be there for, and just endlessly. Um, I think she's amazing. I don't think a lot of people get to experience that, or they probably have, and then they just probably ruin their experience. Um, but yeah, I do genuinely hope like that. Whoever gets to experience her, they, I'm not gonna put my iPad down. They love and care about her. They respect her. They treat her like a queen that she is. Um, and I say this about a lot of people who haven't like really done me wrong, or who would also want the best for me. Um, but for her, like, there's always that love there. but I don't think I'm not gonna say that. Definitely not gonna say that because I don't know what the universe has in store for me. But we don't talk all the time now. We're just here and there. Like if I see her post or something, then like I'll slide up. Um, but I'm still very supportive. Like if she needs me, like I'm proud of who she's become. I've always wanted the best for her, and I still do. I still do. I don't think I have to express that. I think she just knows. I'm happy for her. She's happy. Um, the bond that we shared, like I do miss just being there for a friend because I am trying to grow my friendships and be a better friend to people. The bond that we shared as friends, like I'll never forget that. Um, it was really special. So, um, yeah, that was like my first crush heartbreak. Um, I haven't really, well, actually, no. We'll get into that in the next episode because I think that's about like past relationships. It's a lot of stuff that happened like after this person, after Mia, but yeah. Um, this was a lot. Like it was like so many notes, so many notes. Um, it was a crazy time back then, but I don't regret it. I don't regret just coming out or um being around people that I was around at the time or liking people that I like. I think everything has a lesson in it. Um, and I still stand on that now. Like everything does have a lesson in it. It's just how you choose to move forward. Um, this was like I think there's like more likable topics that I will like. This was like one of my favorites so far. Besides the first one, like introducing and everything like that. So hopefully moving forward, we all get to learn, we all get to grow, we all get to change and learn from each other. I'm just starting out with this podcast, so I'm really excited for the journey and everything that's to come. Um, I'm getting really comfortable, so more topics, more key points. I do want to invite people to come on and have a session with me on here. Um, so that's exciting. Um, so please stay tuned, like, comment, and subscribe. I will be posting this on other outlets, platforms, and on my other social medias. I will put my handles down as well. Period. But thanks for tuning in to Happy Life, Happy Mind podcast.